The final strike. The dust of the Miocene savanna hangs heavy in the air. A small horse-like creature, a macrochinia, grazes nervously, its ears twitching at the slightest rustle of grass. Suddenly, a shadow looms. Out of the brush bursts a nightmare of feathers and muscle. Standing nearly 10 feet tall, the predator does not use claws or teeth to initiate the kill. It raises its massive hooked head high into the air and brings it down with the precision and force of a medieval poleaxe. The sharp tip of the beak pierces the skull of the prey instantly. There is no struggle, only the silent collapse of a victim that never saw its executioner coming. This was the reign of the Phorusrhacidae, the bird that inherited the earth. Introduction: the heirs to the reptilian crown. When the massive asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago, it brought an end to the age of the non-avian dinosaurs. However, the lineage of the theropods did not vanish entirely. While mammals began to scurry through the undergrowth, a specific line of birds in South America decided to take a different evolutionary path. They traded the sky for the ground, their wings shrinking as their legs grew into powerful pillars of speed. These were the Phorusrhacids. For over 60 million years, South America was an island continent, a biological laboratory cut off from the rest of the world. In this isolation, the terror birds evolved into the apex predators of their domain. They were not merely scavengers, they were highly engineered killing machines that filled the ecological niche left vacant by the tyrannosaurs. While the rest of the world saw the rise of saber-toothed cats and giant wolves, South America trembled under the footsteps of birds that could outrun horse and kill with a single blow. The ascension, biomechanics of a killer. The anatomy of a terror bird was a marvel of biological engineering. Unlike modern predatory birds like eagles or hawks, which use their talons to grip and their beaks to tear, the Phorusrhacid used its head as the primary weapon. Paleontologists, through CT scans and structural analysis, have discovered that the skulls of these birds were exceptionally rigid. While most birds have a skull with a degree of flexibility to absorb shock, the terror bird's skull was fused and hardened to withstand massive vertical impacts. This rigidity allowed them to employ a hatchet-strike strategy. The neck muscles were incredibly thick, designed to drive the head downward with devastating velocity. When the bird struck, it wasn't just biting. It was using the weight of its entire upper body to drive the sharp curved tip of its beak into the soft tissue or bone of its prey. Furthermore, their legs were built for the chase. Some species, like the Andalgalornis, possess long, slender mid-metatarsals, suggesting they were capable of sustained high-speed pursuit across open plains. They were the ultimate pursuit predators, combining the agility of a bird with the sheer mass of a large land mammal. They were the undisputed kings of the Cenozoic grasslands, fearing nothing and dominating every encounter. Climax: the Great American Interchange and the Decline. The reign of the terror birds seemed eternal until the Earth itself began to shift. Around 3 million years ago, the Isthmus of Panama rose from the ocean, creating a land bridge between North and South America. This event, known as the Great American Biotic Interchange, set the stage for one of the greatest competitive showdowns in natural history. From the north came the placental mammals, saber-toothed cats like Smilodon, dire wolves and bears. From the south, the terror birds moved north, with species like Titanus walleri reaching as far as modern-day Florida and Texas. For a time, these feathered giants stood claw to claw with the most dangerous mammals the north had to offer. However, the climax of their story is one of gradual displacement. While the terror birds were masters of the one-on-one strike, the new mammalian predators often hunted in packs or possessed different social structures that gave them a competitive edge. The changing climate, shifting from lush grasslands to more varied terrain, also began to favor the versatile mammals. The terror birds, specialized for millions of years to hunt in a specific way on an isolated continent, found their kingdom shrinking. The very environment that created them was now working against them. Conclusion: the echo of the feathered giants. The disappearance of the terror birds was not a sudden explosion, but a slow fading into the mists of time. By the time the Pleistocene epoch was in full swing, the last of these magnificent predators had vanished, leaving behind only fossilized bones and the nightmares of what they once were. They represent a fascinating what-if in evolutionary history. They prove that the blueprint of the dinosaur, the bipedal, fast-moving carnivore, was so effective that nature attempted to recreate it using birds. Today, their closest living relative is the Seriema, a small, long-legged bird that still hunts lizards and snakes on the South American plains. While the Setiema is a far cry from its 3-meter-tall ancestors, one can still see the shadow of the terror bird in the way it hunts, striking its prey against the ground with calculated precision. The terror birds are gone, but for tens of millions of years, they were the most successful heirs to the dinosaur throne, proving that even in a world of mammals, the spirit of the raptor remained the ultimate master of the hunt.